This morning, I woke up when my alarm sounded at 6:30. I got out of bed and made a cup of coffee, which I drank sitting at my kitchen table listening to the radio. Then I showered, brushed my teeth, and got dressed. After that, I took my dog for a walk around the block. Back at home, I scrambled some eggs and made a piece of toast. By 8 o'clock, I was ready to leave the house. According to Hinkson and Winter in Epidemiology and Consequences of Drinking and Driving, in the hour and a half between I woke up and I climbed out of my car, 60 Americans had been injured in automobile accidents involving alcohol, and 2 more had been killed. In fact, 1 in 3 traffic accidents involve at least one driver who was operating his or her vehicle while under the influence of alcohol. Statistics like these make it obvious that alcohol and driving and drinking just don't mix. So to speak, driving safely requires the driver's full attention, and the driver has to maintain the ability, the clear-headedness to make quick decisions in real time as dangerous situations unfold. The sorts of difficult and exacting maneuvers that may be required of one driving a car may not be possible after consuming even relatively small amounts of alcohol. This is true because alcohol depresses or slows down the functions of the central nervous system in at least 2 ways. 1, alcohol causes the impairment of information processing, and 2, it affects one's motor skills or ability to execute a complex action. So, the consumption of alcohol impairs one's concentration, comprehension, and judgment, as well as his or her physical coordination and reaction time. The Center for Disease Control reports that in the United States, about 30 people a day die in drunk driving accidents. That's about 10,000 people every year. So why do some people continue to engage in this dangerous and antisocial behavior? More than 20 years ago, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration sought answers to this very question and interviewed more than 600 subjects who admitted they had driven after consuming alcohol. Social situations accounted for about a third of all cases. For example, one might be subtly encouraged to drink at a party where others are overindulging, or encouraged by a friend who wants to feel more comfortable in his or her own overconsumption. Another cause was a failure to plan ahead, to have recognized the need for a designated driver beforehand, and about 1/5 of the decisions to drink and drive came across quickly within the individual and his or her need to experience the relaxing quality that attends an alcohol buzz. Some drivers simply fail to recognize that they are dangerously under the influence. There are both legal and social measures that could help lower the rate of drinking and driving. One, on the legal side of the problem, we could begin by lowering the legal blood alcohol content to 0.05% rather than the 0.08% threshold that most states use. Another step that could be taken would be to make blood alcohol tests mandatory whenever an accident occurs in bodily injury. Additionally, ignition interlocks could be required following a first-time DUI offense. On the social side of the problem, hosts could be sure to include interesting non-alcoholic beverage alternatives. When we are going to be in a situation where driving is likely and drinking is likely, we could all be more vigilant about designating a driver for the group. And if you find yourself having a few drinks when you really weren't expecting to, call a taxi or call a taxi for a friend who finds him or herself in that situation. The consumption of alcohol makes it much more difficult to safely operate a motor vehicle, and at the rate at which drunk drivers are involved in accidents proves the point. People drink and drive for complex reasons, both social and personal, but there are steps that can be taken both legally and socially to migrate the problem. We should engage with those situations now, and maybe tomorrow morning, as I'm ready to leave the house, there won't be 40 more injured in accidents involving alcohol.